Hey, hey. All right, Capricorns, let's take a look at whatever is next for Capricorn's adventures. We have got the Seven of Cups. We've got the Faith card. This is Taurus energy. This is the Hierophant. So there's going to be a lot of choices to select from. And I think Capricorn's going to have to like really ask their their heart. It could get confusing actually. Capricorn could be faced with, an entire week of like, oh my gosh, I could do this or I could do that, I could do that or I could do this. What am I supposed to land on here? What action am I really supposed to take? And with that faith card, the faith card is all about, let me ask my higher self. Okay, we have a Three of Swords in the reverse, but the Five of Swords upright. Well, this could be Capricorn's going to have to make a decision for themselves, but not make it out of like anger or anything. This is mostly saying, I can't do something that I'm going to set myself up to have a broken heart. So if somebody, I mean, this is like looking at things with really wide open eyes. If Capricorn is going to have to make a decision, and this could be a really big decision about, let's say, somebody that Capricorn truly loves. This could be even somebody Capricorn thought they'd marry or was married to. And it's like, what do I do? Let me consult with my higher self. I don't want to be brokenhearted or betrayed. If somebody is treating me mean, I'm hearing that song by Luke Nelson and the Promise of the Reals. I hope you find yourself before I find myself some other lover. It's a great song. It's Willie Nelson's son, Luke Nelson. But he says, I don't mind sleeping alone if it means I don't have to play your silly games no more. And you're the most precious thing I ever did see. But that doesn't mean I'm going to let it slide when you're mean to me, because I know the love that I deserve. And I feel like that is the perfect message for this right now. It feels like, no way am I going to put up with this kind of behavior. We got a Knight of Swords. I'm definitely going to cut through this. I'm definitely going to go ahead and, if I have to swiftly move on, I will do so. I kind of think Capricorn is going to be faced with a choice to stay or go. And I think it's going to be kind of a snap decision. I almost think that Capricorn is going to suddenly, in this moment of clarity, say, this isn't fun. This isn't nice. This isn't the way I want to be treated. I've been thinking long and hard about how to handle this situation. And I think this is the final straw. If somebody's going to treat me mean, I'm not going to let it slide. I'm going to go. And I think this is just, that's it. I got the confirmation that I needed. I'm exiting stage left. I'm not going to stick around and fight. I'm not going to stick around and, contribute to, just unpleasantness. That's not what I signed up for. With the King of Swords energy here as well, I definitely say I can find better. I mean, I think that this is the difference between if Capricorn has been trying to decide between a previous situation where somebody's been kind of snarky, kind of rude, kind of hostile, and this could be low key, snarky, hostile. This could be somebody who doesn't want to share emotions. This is somebody who doesn't say something nice, but instead always says something cutting. I think Capricorn is like, well, I'm not actually going to make a decision out of like heartbroken feelings. What I'm going to say is plain and simple, I don't like this. So plain and simple, I can go someplace else and deal with somebody who treats me nicer. And I kind of think if Capricorn, by the way, I keep wanting to say Scorpio. I'm having to hold that back so badly, and I have no idea why, because we actually don't have Scorpio here. We got a lot of air, and then we've got some Taurus. And I guess, I mean, at the very beginning, we could say there's a smidge of Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer. But primarily, we have Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. Almost like Capricorn could be dealing with two different air signs, but they're kind of honing in and saying, I'm so not going to put up with this. I did not sign up for this. I am not signing up for this. I'm outie. No way would I do this to myself. We got a Four of Cups. We got the Emperor. Everything here keeps saying, God, why didn't I make this decision sooner? I wish that I'd made this decision sooner. Here's the thing. I don't, I want to be so careful when how I say this. Because obviously these are fictional stories, right? About fictional characters. But even then, I don't want to be mean to our characters. But somebody who's choosing to create hostility, that kind of energy is a choice, right? If somebody just has a snarky way about them and it's just like, God, that's so grating. Instead of trying to tell somebody you need to change, I think this is a story where Capricorn goes, they don't have to change anything. That's maybe just their personality, but I don't enjoy it. So I can leave and be more successful with somebody else. But then I regret the fact that I ever was trying to envision somebody who already showed me that they didn't have the qualities I was looking for. Their style of communication was too caustic for my taste, too snarky, too, some people like that really, quick talking, rude back and forth. They feel like it's sexy banter. Not everybody enjoys that or thinks that it's sexy at all. I personally don't like that one bit. I'm a marshmallow. I like softer. I like gentle support. I like, if it's going to be a little bit of teasing, it still has to be gentle. I don't like things that go for the jugular, or nasty. There's enough hardship in the world. Last thing we need is to start digging at each other's insecurities or create insecurities or create wounds. So that's just me. But it feels like the big thing here is like, it's disappointing that I was trying to hold on to the idea of someone who maybe didn't have the attributes I was looking for, but I wanted them to be my emperor, instead of going out and finding somebody maybe who had more of the qualities I was looking for, a more gentle approach when they communicate. Something is more fair and balanced instead of, snarky or something. But it just feels like, I think this is more because this is about marriage, right? Ultimately, what kind of person do I want for a long-term relationship? Who do I believe I could really have success with? And I think this is Capricorn realizing, like, in the big scheme of things, we all step back sometimes in life and go, wow, I dated somebody who really had like not the communication style that I enjoyed, but I kept wanting them to be my person without realizing that one really, really big issue, like they kept causing me grief and I really didn't enjoy it. And then I decided to move on. And I just wish I had recognized that sooner. Look for the partner that you don't have to like hope that they're going to change in order to match you, but instead look for the partner who already has some of those fundamentals that would make our character happier. Because I think ultimately, if we're just dating for fun, that's one thing. If we're dating somebody with the intention of having a long-term partner that we feel safe with, that we connect to at a deeper level, I just think that there was this illusion that Capricorn had for a bit that, we don't have the same communication style, but I know they're not trying to hurt me, so I should still accept it. But I don't think it was acceptable to Capricorn. And I think that what Capricorn is realizing is, I was basically trying to accept things that weren't okay with me, that were fundamental, like deal breakers, instead of me just moving on and letting myself meet someone who does match those fundamental, baseline things that I'm looking for in a partner. And I feel like this is a huge breakthrough. This is a card of like victory and heroics, but it's like, dang, I spent a lot of time waiting for somebody to match me that didn't match me right out of the gate, instead of saying that's a fundamental deal breaker. It's awesome because I think this is what is allowing Capricorn to not only move forward and I think quite swiftly meet somebody who's a much better match for them, but I think that previous relationship where Capricorn kept trying to say, can I just accept that they don't mean to hurt me, that's just how they talk, I think that was a blockage. That relationship, and even trying to make something okay with us that isn't meeting our needs, was a big blockage to Capricorn being able to meet the person that they were supposed to meet, which is, we've got that Two of Cups. I think it's a King of Swords. They might have been, dating somebody who had so many of the qualities they were looking for, but there was that fundamental missing component. And when they let go of that person and quit trying to acquiesce and say, I guess I can accept, love's about compromise. If I love them, I guess I should let them, I should just be unhappy with how they talk to me and be okay with that. And then finally this Capricorn says, no, it doesn't work for me though. And I think that the day they let go of that and let themselves move forward, that's when they gravitate towards someone who is not only a great match for them, but it's like, oh, finally I feel relaxed. I feel at peace. I feel like I've met somebody who I can talk to. I feel like it's somebody that I don't have to keep saying, I know you don't mean to hurt me. That's just the way you always talk at me. Now I don't have to do that. This is somebody who is understanding of me, pays attention, realizes that if something that they do hurts me, they're not going to do that. They don't want to hurt me. They're astute enough and paying enough attention and care enough about me to say, I wouldn't want to put you through grief, just like I don't want you to put me through grief. I know it sounds so obvious, but I don't think that Capricorn had a partner that felt that way or that matched them in that way. But I will say this, the beautiful part of this story is that it is Capricorn who has had all of the opportunity all this time to make this decision for themselves. They've always had all the power, and they had to use their power to determine, what do I want to keep accepting? Do I want to keep saying somebody who doesn't treat me nice at a fundamental level or doesn't provide me at the fundamental level with the kindness that I'm seeking? Do I really have to say, I just have to accept it and say that they can still be my partner? That's an illusion. Once I think Capricorn admits that part to themselves, that I actually want something else, that's when they get something else. They break away from that wrong partnership, and that moves them forward into finding the right partnership, someone who genuinely matches them. But it's really tough because I think this Capricorn was trying so hard to like practice forgiveness and give love anyway. And how much of this should I surrender of what I need in order to be a good partner to them and accept, well, I know they don't mean to hurt me. It's just how they talk. And so shouldn't I just be okay with it? I feel like this Capricorn kept telling themselves, I should kind of just accept somebody as they are. Yes. And then also make the discernment of, they are who they are. I'm not going to change them. I'm not trying to, and they don't match me. Like that was the big lesson in all this, that Capricorn allowed themselves to say, and guess what? They don't match me. And now I can let them go. Beautiful, 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 because Capricorn has moved on. Whomever Capricorn ends up with certainly could be still a Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. We do have some Virgo, Pisces, Cancerian as well. And we did have some Aries and some Taurus in there. But I think all said and done, it was about letting go and moving forward into the relationship that actually works. Thank you guys for being here. Thanks for giving it a thumbs up and subscribing. Bye.